on this planet than men. In the United States, we have about a quarter of our population in jail. Another quarter of our population identifies as LGBTQ. So with that being said, it is a nigga shortage out here. It is a shortage of available good niggas out here. So for all you bitches that think you deserve your own nigga, like your own personal nigga, like that's only yours. Like, okay, it's some women that do. But are you that bitch? Like, what do you bring to the table and make you think you deserve your own nigga and it's a nigga shortage? Sis, grow up. You gonna have to share that nigga. That's our nigga.
Be real. Black women need black men more than we need our egos. It's true. The ego that we have that says that I want one man to myself when we know that we greatly outnumber our men. We need our men. And, there's a lot of women out here on the independent spiel, and don't get it fucked up. I still suffer from independent ism sometimes, but the reality is we need our men more than we need our egos about it. We can get all emotional about it.
Yeah. So this is Genesis chapter 3, verse 16. And unto the woman, he said, who's the he? Dealing with, the prophets of that time, right? Speaking to them, as like Yahweh Shai is the mediator, but between us, we've always had a mediator. So it was the prophet speaking the Lord's words, right? Which is dealing with, the Most High Yahweh and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, right? He said, and unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrows, right? And that's the one thing that women is trying to get out of, the part that they have sorrow, right? Because you're the woman, and it's unfair that the man can have multiple wives. It's unfair that the man can stand up and pee. You know what I mean? It's unfair that the man has strength that you don't have. It's unfair that they treat men and women different, right? Those are part of your sorrows too, right? But besides you having a moon cycle and birth pains, right? And they in thy conception, right, having babies, which a woman shall be saved by, right? In sorrow thus shalt bear forth children, and thy desire shall be towards thy husband. And that's ultimately where it's sorrow to you women at now. Your natural thing is to submit to the man, but it's sorrow to you. This is the order that the Most High gave. But you'll say you're a God-fearing woman, right? But right here, this is God speaking, right? Through the prophet, but this is God, right? Through the seer, of that day, right? And he shall rule over thee, right? Your husband is meant to rule over you, right? Right? This is 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 15. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing. Who? The woman. Matter of fact, let's go up because we're might as well going because basically this goes back into Eve, right? But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority, right? Because a man should rule over his wife, right? But in this day and age, you're trying to change it around and you're trying to rule over the man, whether it's beta male or alpha male or whatever you want to say. No woman is supposed to usurp authority over any man, even if he's supposed to be so-called beta. You're supposed to be in your place. A man is supposed to rule over you. Thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Holy Bible. If you're a God-fearing woman, right? Right? So it says, yeah, woman suffer not a woman to teach nor to usurp authority over a man, over any man. I didn't say if he was beta or alpha. In this case, if he's beta, then you don't got to. But if he's this way, then I guess you could do it if you feel like he deserve it. No. But to be in silence, right? From Adam, for Adam was first formed, then Eve, right? First things first. That's all. It's just a natural order to everything. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression, right? Dealing with going back to the garden, right? Which is really the whole world's the garden because it's dealing with Idon, which is paradise. The whole world was paradise. But as you see, the whole world is in chaos now because of this, right? Notwithstanding, she shall be saved, not just her, all women in general, because of Eve, you women, all you women shall be saved in childbearing if they continue in faith. Ooh, so this has to do everything with faith. And without faith, it's impossible to please Yahweh Shem Shai, right? And charity, and in holiness, and in sobriety, with sobriety, Salakia. So there you go. You know? Yeah, this is Isaiah chapter 32, verse 1. Behold, which means feast your eyes upon, pay attention, right? A king shall reign in righteousness, right? And that king is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, which his real name is Yahweh Shai, right? And princes shall rule in judgment, right? Starting with King David and 144,000 and, so on and so forth down, right? Because there's order in how you run a body, right? So, and just like it was saying, Adam came first, then Eve. It's called order, right? A man shall be as a hiding place from the wind, right? Who's going to be a hiding place? A man. And then we ain't just talking about a $100,000 man. Anybody who makes $100,000 or more, a high value man. We ain't talking about no goddamn high value man. The highest value man that could ever be is an Israelite man, and not just the Israelite man, the elect of the nation of Israel, baby. The elect, right? You can't get no higher value man than the elect of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, right? Right. So so what is it? You ain't gonna be a high place from the wind, right? What wind is that? The nuclear wind. That nuclear tempest, man, that's coming, man. ICBM missiles. That's coming for you fakers and shakers, man. You know what I mean? And a covert, right? From the tempest as rivers plural, of water, right? Because they're already talking about what Arizona, California, they've been saying Texas been had a drought of water. So they're saying a vast majority of like the southwestern part of the United States is not going to have water, right? And, you already got places where water that's affected, like Flint. There's even places in Louisiana that water is affected. They're not telling you, because one of the highest cases, I can't ever remember the name of the town, but there's a town that's in Louisiana that, besides Flint, has the highest cases of black, so-called black people, right, which are really Israelites, getting high amounts of cancer in these towns, these places where, like Flint, and the water and all the things is jacked up. So these are the things that's coming upon this earth, right? And a man, and the most high value man is an Israelite man who happens to be the elect of the Israel of the Most High, right? To be exact. Let's see. We have water in a dry place, as a shadow of a great rock in a weary land. And this land is going to get weary, man. Let's look up that word covert.
Covert. Covert.
Covert, not openly acknowledged or displayed. So this is not going to be displayed all over the place, especially when what? It's not going to be a lot of food out there. It's not going to be a lot of water out there. You don't want to draw attention to yourself with this water and food when there's a drought, right? Because the Lord said that his men shall eat, right? So you want to be covert about how you're eating and how you're drinking. Yeah. So this is Isaiah chapter 65, verse 13. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And by the way, that's the Most High's name. It ain't Jesus or Jehovah. It's Yahweh, right? He exists, right? That's what it means. Yahweh. And his only begotten son is Yahweh Shai, which means he delivers or he saves, right? Because Jesus means earth pig, right? In Greek, which is not Hebrew, right? Who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ is a Hebrew Israelite. All the people in the Bible, just because you're reading it in English, those people are Hebrew Israelites. Isaiah is a Hebrew Israelite. Jeremiah, all of a sudden they're not Israelites because it became the New Testament. So Matthew's not an Israelite. Peter, John, the Apostle Paul, they're all Israelites. Surprise. This book is about the Israelites for the Israelites. You know what I mean? If you didn't know. I mean, being that it says it a bazillion times in here. I mean, just Google it. Google how many times Israel is in the Bible. Yeah. But that's not significant to the Most High. Oh, he's just going to cast that away, right? But let me keep going. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, behold, when means feast your eyes upon, pay attention, my servants shall eat. There's a time that's coming. There's going to be no water. And a man, the true high value man is the Israelite, the elect of the Most High is going to eat. But ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, and ye shall be thirsty, which is initially starting with this word. Because what the real men is getting the nourishment from the word and the teachings of Apostle Tahar on down. The real men are getting that, man. Right? But it's gonna also go into the food, man. Right? Miracles are gonna happen, man, for the real men of the Lord. Yeah, you're gonna be thirsty. Behold, which means pay attention, feast your eyes upon. My servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. And that's what a lot of you women are going to be ashamed. Right? In that day, man. A lot of women are going to be ashamed in that day. Because they don't got enough common sense to know that what? Something simple like the sisters were saying. What? Women outnumber men. You are supposed to be a subjection of your men, right? You got to get over that. That's just what it is. So when we come back over here to Isaiah 32, so now that we know that convert means to be not open, to basically be, not on display, to basically be discreet, right? About having that food that the men of the Lord are going to eat while others are starving. So it's not going to be broadly set out there. So you're going to have to be a special type of woman to get that to get that food and get that nourishment and to be in the hiding place, right? So it says, and the eyes of them that see, shall not be dimmed. There you go. And the ears of them that hear shall hearken, right? Which is dealing with the elect, right? Like I was saying, dealing with those that's actually getting the food, the water, the thirst, the nourishment, the food from the elder Apostle Tahar on down, right? Those are the ones that's getting that, and that's the ones that's hearkening with the ears and hearing and hearkening and seeing with their eyes, right? Which is the spiritual eyes. And the heart also of them the heart of the heart also of the rash shall understand, right? Because there's people that usually jump to conclusion. You're rash, you jump to, but those who are sincere or they're under the vibration of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, they're gonna not be as rash. They're just gonna start having that understanding. The Lord is gonna give them an understanding. Shall understand a knowledge, and the tongue of the stammerer shall be ready to speak plainly, right? Because look, we don't speak perfect so-called English, which this is like, this language is a witchcraft language anyway. You could say the same word or even spell the same word, but it can mean two different things. Now, how the heck that makes sense? You know what I mean? This English language is it's deceitful. But yeah. So like I said, a man's gonna be a hiding place from the tempest, from the wind, a covert from what? From starvation, right? It's not going to be an open display of, oh, look, I got food, look, I got water. It's going to be like a hide. It's going to be like hidden. We're not going to be openly showing you that, right? So you're going to have what? Famine of food, water, and the word. Matter of fact, you hear him saying you're going to have a famine of the word, of water, of food, right? the man is going to be the hiding place, right? The elect man, you know what I mean? From the what, and then ultimately what, that wind, the tempest, right? The ICBM missiles that's coming, right? A man should be a hiding place to that. The real Israelite man, the real high value man, not dealing with no FRNs or no type of Bitcoin or no digital coin or whatever it's called. Was it Coin Dog or whatever that is? You know what I mean? None of those things, man. It's all about the Israelite man. Why the Lord is what? Punishing the world, right? And this is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 11. And I will punish the world for their evil, right? So that's ultimately what this is about, man. This global, lockdown is about punishing the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity, right? And you women fit the bill, and will cause the arrogancy of the proud, right, to cease, right? And you women are some of the most proud. You got some of the most arrogancy, and then you don't got nothing to be arrogant about, right? Especially you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian women, right? Systemic racism plagues our neighborhood, but you walk around proud, like, because it seemed like it ain't bothering you, right? Because you don't have to be accountability for anything. But guess what? No one gets past the Most High. You're going to be accountability for what? I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, right? And that means put you to death. I will lay low the haughtiness, right? The arrogancy of the terrible, right? Starting with the so-called white man. But what? That's your daddy. That's where you get that pride. That's where you be able to get that power to have that pride. Like the chick that was on the dude Kevin Samuels or whatever, his show. She said, we don't gotta smile at a black man. We're educated now, so we don't need black men. But in that day, you're gonna need us, right? Matter of fact, this is what it says right here. I will make a man, and not just any man, the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, and not just any so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, the elect of the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, which are the Israel of the Most High, by the way. More precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir, right? And that's basically what the Lord is going to do with that. You know what I mean? Right. This is Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1. In that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel, right? Right? Because it's going to be pandemonium out there. You know what I mean? Race-wise, wars, lack of food, lack of water, lack of everything. You know what I mean? And it said, the scripture said that a woman shall be saved in childbearing. So what's going to save you in that day? If you can't have babies, right? This is your saving grace as a woman if you can't have a baby. That's why it says, what does it says? We wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name, which what means? Which is marriage, right? And according to the Bible, sex is marriage. You know what I'm saying? To take away our reproach, right? What's your approach? You're not able to have babies to be saved, but you want to be saved. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna make sure that you bring some value to the table in order for you to take on that elect man's name, right? So he could take away your reproach, right? Because a man should be a hiding place, right? A man is more precious than fine gold, right? And what makes gold precious, or the thing about that is, Apostle Gabar always says that by process of elimination, because there are more women than men, by process of elimination, we would have to be more valuable than a woman. But in this world, it's turned upside down, and they make the woman more valuable than the man. When a woman, you could throw a rock and hit a woman, but find a man, or a legitimate man, especially a man of the Lord, that is hard to find, man. Right? And in that day shall the breaches of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai be beautified and glorious, and the fruit, right, of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped of Israel, and not the whole world. Not whoever want to join hands. Rainbow Coalition. You could be whatever you want to be. Right? None of that. So, you know what I mean? Come on, come as you are. All nations and creeds and just whatever you want to do. You could be no. The Lord is coming to destroy them for the evil that they do upon the world. And a man is more precious than fine gold. A man is going to be as rivers in a dry place. That man, that elect man of Israel, the elect of the Most High. This is Isaiah chapter 3, verse 16. Moreover, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai saith, because the daughters, right? You so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian women, you're the daughters of Zion, are haughty, right? Which is pride, right? And the Lord said he's coming to destroy. He's going to put pride to what? To cease. That means to death, right? So a lot of women are going to get put to death. And walketh with stretched forth necks and wanting eyes, right? Which is undisciplined. You're looking at another man while you're with your man. That's very undisciplined. Walking and mincing as she go, and making a tinkling with her feet, right? You got your ankle bracelets and your stilettos and your red bottoms and all these things that so-called make you important in this world. All that's going to be gone. Right? Therefore, Yahweh will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, right? Which a lot of you are already bald-headed and got scabs and all sorts of stuff. But think about in that day while you're putting all these perms and stuff in your head now. And in that day when you can't go up there and get your crack cream, the crack cream, you know what I mean? Your head, yeah. I mean, it's gonna be something terrible, man. Right? So, yeah, the scab of the crown of their head, crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and Yahweh will discover her secret parts. Right? Because what? When there ain't no place for you to get clothes. Some women are going to be out here walking around butt naked. And that's going to be on many levels. Spiritually, and physically, right? That's why I said we will wear our own apparel. We will make our own clothes, right? You know, so I'm just going to skip down to here. To 24. So Isaiah chapter 3 verse 24, and it shall come to pass, instead of sweet smell, there shall be stank, right? You're going to have your feminine products, right? Your summer's eves and or any of that type of stuff. Or even if you had some type of bath stuff, what water, right? And if you do have water, do you take a bath or do you drink it? Dun, dun, dun. Right, yeah. Dilemmas, right? So it's better to keep that water so you can drink it to survive longer than it would be for you to take a bath, right? And if you could take a bath, it would definitely have to be spread out. It couldn't be every day. It would have to be every 3 days, 5 days, once a week maybe. You know what I'm saying? It would have to definitely be spread out because you don't want to waste water that's potentially going to help you survive trying to take a bath, right? You know, and that's if you have enough water to do that, right? So instead of sweet smell, going to be stank, right? And this is talking about the women, the daughters, the women, right? Instead of a girding, a rent, right? Instead of nice bodies, which a lot of you have, you don't have the nice bodies. Dude be saying that. The Kevin Samuels, he be saying, well, you're 5 foot whatever and you're 200 pounds. That's ridiculous. You're just slightly over 4 foot tall and you're 230 pounds. That's ridiculous. Right? So, you know, but yeah. Instead of well set hair, what? Baldness, right? And instead of a stomacher and a girding of sackcloth, right? Because you're going to be crying, you're going to be in mourning, and burning instead of beauty, right? You're not going to be all that pretty. You're not going to be doing with all that because it's going to be a lot of things that you're not going to have, right? Right? And then here's another key reason why there's going to be 7 women to 1 man. I mean, not only there's not going to be water, food, protection, you need to get a man, not just any man, an Israelite man, to be a hiding place, right? In the time of these things, thy men shall fall by the sword. So all them wicked niggas, because the Lord's coming to judge. Even though majority of the people that's going to die is going to be you women, but a lot of men are going to die, and thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war. And that's the thing that's going to happen, man. Right? Yeah. And her gates shall lament, right? Which is your protection, your leadership, the leadership of this world. Because Esau's going to leave you high and dry, right? So the gates shall lament and mourn, and she, being desolate, shall sit down upon the ground. Right along with the system that Esau allowed you to get high up on a high horse, where you don't need a black man no more because you got an education, you got a piece of paper that the so-called white man gave you, the one who raped your ancestors. Now you don't got to smile at us. That is insane. Yeah, this is First Maccabees. So, this is a thing that happens to us, obviously, when we disobey the Most High, right? This is First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 26. So that the princes and the elders mourned, and the virgins, right? Virgins, what means women, right? Women of marriageable age. And there's a lot of you women of marriageable age, but nobody wants to marry a so-called black woman. You're the least desired on the planet, right? And young men, right? Because it said your men should die by the sword and by the war. But that was a future prophecy. This is talking about the past. So I'm gonna link the past with the future, because this what, and the young men were made feeble, right? See, those nice strapping young men, the ones you like, they're feeble. What? And then what it said? So it said the Lord said He was gonna strike the crown of your head. You're gonna have stank. You're gonna have baldness, right? And the beauty of women was changed. See, and that's what's going to happen to you now. Your beauty is going to be changed, right? All that you popping in contacts and all the other stuff. And I don't know who told you that wearing blonde hair was beautiful or blue hair was beautiful, but any woman wearing blue hair in that day bet not come to me talking about save me. You're going to get put to death, or we're going to leave you out there to the wolves. When, period. Yeah, even the bridegroom took up lamentation, and she that sat in the marriage chamber was in heaviness. And the land also was moved from the habitations thereof, and all the houses of Jacob was covered with confusion. And that's what's going to happen, man. A lot of you're gonna be covered with confusion. Why? Because you don't. First of all, you don't know that you're in the best position you could ever be to have a man of the Lord, for one, right? And a lot of you're never gonna get a man of the Lord. You're just gonna die, man. A lot of you're old, proud women who nobody want, and then you don't even have nothing to be able to benefit to help the men of the Lord. You know what I mean? So what can you do for, so, call Loyum Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakal Kadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, right? Who were well, salutations to the Akim and the four winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking their lives more now than ever. To the Israelite foreigners who phenotype may look like another nation, but their bloodline goes back to Israel. Repent, come back. To the sister and Aquaf that's listening and learning in silence, Shalom, death to America.